Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a while indeed since the last time we've played some 3 Stars of Destiny. However, we are here and we are going to be playing some 3 Stars of Destiny. Now, last time that we played 3 Stars of Destiny, the things we've done, a couple things, right? We did Quest 40, I think, which was, I don't know, finding her silk ribbon, I think. We stole the reports, we rescued a prisoner, we killed the creature in the swamp, we gave the bundle, we killed the rogue imp, and that's about all that we did, right? So we did all these nice things. Now as for the optional stuff we did, we also got, good question what we got actually. We killed all the bunnies, which we then sold so that we could get the Elven Grand Bow, that's what we did. We have the War Master's sword, we found a couple relics, a couple artifacts here that we already had obviously, and we got the Shadow Cloak from the assassins. Also, we got the thing where random is a bloodthirsty assassin that can assassinate people. Let's not forget about that part. Now, a couple of things that are currently impossible. I'm actually not sure if we did it or not in the end. I think, yeah, Sarah getting 500 speed was one of the things that we had to consider, sadly, impossible, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I don't think we managed to do that in the end because 500 speed really is a lot of speed. Yeah. So 500 speed, definitely not something that Sarah is going to be able to make easily. You can find a wind bun, but oh my god. Okay. You know, that's cool. I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever found that, but that is legitimately cool because I always thought if you missed it, you missed it. So apparently you can actually find a wind bandana right there. So the general vibe is that you can definitely come back here later at the end of the game, and then you can complete any amount of the quests that exist here. So it's kind of like one of the things, like you don't have to complete the game right here, right now. You don't have to finish it right here, right now. And I do think we've kind of done every quest that we reasonably can be expected to do, because the quests that we have left are the 3 Dragons, Quest 50, Quest 48, Quest 47, Quest 46. So the 3 Dragons, you're definitely not supposed to do that one right now. We did slay the swamp creature, so I believe we've done everything that we can do right now. Sadly, we also gave away the Oraclean, but that's fine, we can get that back later. So I'm thinking it's time to leave St. Leona. Start the journey to Rillia, and yeah. Alright, so once we're here, we're actually forced into a party with Iveen. Now, I'm not sure about what I'm about to say, but I don't think there's anything particularly interesting here. I think talking to the various people, you can actually talk to the guy up there. And Beretta is right here, if this guy ever decides to move. So we can talk to Beretta. And then we're blocked from going that way. We can talk to this guy, and then if you talk to Genidia in the top right, you'll notice that guy just teleports in. Not quite sure it's supposed to go that way, but whatever. We chase that guy off. We're in the cart, and then boom, we make it into Rillia. So here we are, Rillia. Talking to Pyrrhic. Which is the first the first thing that we have to do here. Now, I believe there's nothing here now, but I think it'll spawn in later. I'm not 100% sure, though. I'm pretty sure. As for this place in general, I believe there's a couple hidden items here, if you know where to go. Now, interestingly enough, we'll actually run into Coriol here before the whole Witchwood affair. You can actually find Coriol here, which is something I don't think a lot of people are actually aware of. So that's, that's kind of cool. And after that, there's a couple of spaces. The House of Herbalism right here is pretty cool. Especially, they sell this, which isn't useful for me, but if you miss a couple items, you never know. I don't know. I don't personally see a point in it, but you never know. Now, this is Marlon's HQ, which has Marlon, obviously, in it. Marlon, the leader of that band of thieves in the first game. And these people, they're all very happy to talk to Marlon. Now, the one thing you want to do is you want to buy this guy's helmet. You'll see why eventually, but the point is just buy this guy's helmet. It'll benefit you in the long run. We'll find the Stalker bandana here, and then I believe that's all there is to it. Now the Stalker bandana gives you attack strength up and first strike, so once we take off the Hat of Persuasion, I'm actually not sure if Rillia can equip it, I don't think so, or Sarah. No. We'll see if Coriol can equip it. If he can, great, otherwise we might have to consider taking off the bandana, but we'll see. Alright, so our quest continues by literally trying to talk to everyone there is. Luckily we can easily trap that kid. Now this is Kevin's residence, we don't really want to be here right now. The House of Ceremony, which is kind of ruined. Not much to say about this place in general, really. I believe there's an item here, the Edge Axe, but, you know, not much we're going to do with that. Still can't change party, by the way. Wait, what did she say? My pink flying cat. No, I have not. I believe this is the arena. There's not much point in it right now, though, because... I mean, you're not going to win any fights right now, so might as well not bother, you know? This guy will exorcise you in case you suffer from any form of curse. This will cure zombified. This is the school, which is where we do have to go next. I believe they're going to ask us to collect our school books from Luciana, so, you know. Alright. Now, this is not the library, that's the library up there. But first, we're going to talk to a couple people. Down here, Bombus' residence. Sarah's going to comment that she's happy that Bombus is not her host, and I can sort of understand, Sarah. I can sort of understand. This guy is a useless wizard, as Random so politely puts it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to be able to enter that house, but you can't in any case. Alright, so that is Sarah's host, and this is Sandy. Hi. Hi, Sandy. Yeah, that's Sandy. So, you know, Sandy's here too. Now, the next thing that we have to do is we have to actually go all the way. Well, there's technically this path too, but this just leads back to the entrance, which shouldn't have too much special. I'm not sure if these barrels have anything, but you can just sneak behind. Alright, so there's nothing in these barrels, which is interesting, but there should be something in this one, 600 gold, which is a pretty good amount. I'm not sure about these, I don't think they have anything. This is a residence which has another character you might know, Jessie. So, and that is presumably the axe that Jessie gives you if you save her. I just thought it was kind of cool that Jessie is here. You can then talk to this guy, who doesn't really do much, but you know. Another barrel there that has nothing. An item shop, Elmo's Supplies. Revival potions, I suppose, is the only thing I'll buy. And then we can talk to this guard here. Now, we can't leave. So there really isn't much specials to be done here. The only thing that we really need to do is we have to go up into the library. I don't think anything in the library really does anything. You can definitely talk to the various people, but I don't think there's any item to be gotten or whatever from doing so. Same with this. I don't think there's anything here, so whatever. And then we'll find Luciana. Luciana's gonna give us our books. Luciana's gonna give us our books. And then, or not, I don't even really remember if she gives you your books or just doesn't, but it doesn't matter either. Which means we can now head back to the right, and we're going to enter here. Also, I should note, we did get the quest, Champion of the Colosseum. Become champion. That is... Okay. What does the main quest say? Alright, I was right. It's just you can't... Okay. So first we need to visit her host. That is fine. And I think her host is going to complain that we're late already. We can talk to this guy. I don't actually think there's anything else to be done here, so now we can go back to the school. So that's a rough overlay of how Rillia looks. I wouldn't say there's too much special here. We can definitely venture in here, but there's nothing here that's worth noting. And then this guy is going to mock us for being late. He's going to tell us to go into the Rillian Hills to find some flowers, but you know. Alright. Now, mind you, we still can't change our party, which is sort of annoying, because I do want to change my party, but you can't right now. So, we're just going to continue. I think Luciana is going to comment that she wants to collect something from the library first, so let's do that real quick. Is it only when you... Oh my god. Okay, so you need to go to the right exit. And then you can unequip Lisa and Beretta by going into their menus here. Which I suppose is nice enough. Alright. So Luciana is going to tell us how to get to the mountains, and then we're going to be told, oh no, I forgot my cat, let's go back. Could have just done that from the start, but you know. And I believe that's what finally allows you to enter your party menu again. And I believe that's going to give us a savior book, and nope, still can't access our party menu. It'll be accessible eventually before we do anything, so it's fine. Alright. So here's the thing. Luciana's going to tell us that she actually knows a place that has more mushrooms than any other place, and so we're going to use that place to, you know, to win the... Now we can't actually go back, interestingly enough. So we want Luciana in our party. She's kind of under-leveled right now. That is one of the issues. Secondary issue is we kind of also need Spark for the collection of items. So when it comes down to it, we're kind of hard-locked into this party for a while. Luciana, because like I don't really see a reason not to use Luciana, and I mean, Spark is just Spark, you know? The free items that he grants you are just kind of very viable, even in here. Now the good thing is that Sarah and Random are definitely strong enough to just... Like, they can definitely sort of solo this place anyways. Now before you do anything else, one thing worth noting is that down here is a secret room 929, which actually makes me consider I am... No. We should be fine. I'm pretty sure we did everything there is. I don't think there's anything else here. Now, the next thing here, this lady is kind of an annoying fight. I'm going to put Canidia in the team, and I'm going to use Circle of Meditation. I'm not sure Luciana has anything that we can do. Now, we can give her Baobab, or we can give her this, which will teach her Clouds of Darkness. We can give her the Lava thing. We can give her Alchemist, the Alchemist hat. We can give her the Soile Kama, which will heal her every turn. And we can give her either Lady Brasina's Bracelet, but I don't think that's a good idea. Or we can give her the Wonder Eye, the Seed Pendant, the Shadow Cloak, the Luck Ring, the Stamina Shoes. So I'm going to go for the Wonder Eye, just in case. Okay. So here's the thing. This thing is not particularly tough if you just paralyze her, right? Well, you know, paralyze or literally any of the million other ways that you can deal very good damage to her whilst her not being able to take a turn, you know. We actually brought the Revive Potions for a very good reason too, because this thing definitely needs some of them. Also, we have Swamp Corrosion. We might as well try and use it. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but Random is definitely going to die every time he takes a turn. Because of the assassin stuff. But generally speaking, that's sort of fine. I don't especially mind Random dying every time. I do mind the fact that I have to revive him, because we're killing this fight so quickly that I'm actually not sure that he would get the XP otherwise. Anyways, like I said, realistically speaking, really not the toughest fight. It's definitely harder if you're at the start of the game, but if you know how to kill her, If you make sure that you get Swamp Corrosion on Sarah, and then you make sure that you actually have everything you need, it really isn't that hard. You can interact with the stuffed toy here for, you know. Random is actually kind of mean to Luciana initially. Not the biggest fan of that, but Random is sort of mean to everyone initially, so it's whatever. Anyways, we're gonna make sure that we save here, and this is honestly one section of the game that I'm the least knowledgeable about, because this place is very easy to rush through. If you're under leveled, you might actually want to do so, because the encounters are not necessarily easy. If you're under leveled, especially the ones that come later on. They can be a real doozy if you are under leveled or in any way, shape, or form not written. I'm just trying to ensure that I don't miss anything here, but I don't see anything that sparks my interest. In general, we can definitely just rush through the fights, like actually use the rush command. None of them should be too hard. And this is Secret Room 28, which is why I was confused earlier when I saw it say 29, but this is 28, so yeah. And then I see one more morning drop over here. These flowers don't do anything, none of them I believe, so we're fine. Which means that we're now back to exploring, I suppose. So it's down here. I don't think these flowers do anything. This gives us the witch hat, which inflicts mind up. Really good. Not yet, but you know, at some point it might be a good idea to try and use that in case we need Luciana to be a bit more, you know, pack a bit more of an oomph. So far, don't think that's particularly necessary though. Why am I not using Wildfire, the fire spell? I don't know. I'm also going to swap Gonidia back out for... Actually, I think you can only get glue honey here. I don't think the items you find here are relevant enough to the point that it's absolutely unmissable. I could be minorly mistaken about it, though. I don't know. And I kind of want to give Horacia a try. I don't think I've really used her in any of my playthroughs. I don't think I've really used Horacia before, so it seems kind of fun to try and play Hell mode with Horacia as my main member that I don't have too much experience with. All right, so this is one of the enemies that I was mentioning earlier. If you're underprepared, this one can definitely give you some trouble, especially when it comes paired with the optional partners that can be paired with in random encounters. This one can definitely give you some trouble in terms of like doing decent damage, having decent skills, but all you really have to do is use Dragon Blitz on it. Okay, and this is the other one. So we've kind of encountered both back in rapid succession, and that's kind of the tendency here. These things are definitely not the easiest to deal with. The bull especially deals a lot of damage if you aren't careful. Now, Clouds of Darkness, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a good spell for Luciana. I like equipping the staff on her, because it does give decent stats, but I definitely don't have the impression that the skill that you get for doing so is worth it, per se. We do find Epinambao, or whatever you pronounce it, Epinambo, and that one is just straight up better. Magic cost times 0.6. So, yeah, kind of my point there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her the stamina shoes instead. Actually, I'm going to keep the other thing equipped as well. What does this do? Plus 17 mana. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it equipped. Because I know where the first 3 orbs are pretty easily. I'm not really sure that I automatically will never forget where the other 3 are. Although one is in the Atlas Caves, I know that much. We've had the Orb of Fire, the Orb of Water, and the Orb of Earth so far. So, alright, collect that. I believe the path is like here, squeeze in, save. You get another attack buff here, which I find kind of weird because the last attack buff we've gotten was like in the secret room. So I guess this is sort of if you don't find the secret room, but yeah, whatever. Alright, so we circle around here, and did we miss anything? I don't think so. So then we enter here, and this is the next part. Now, if you go here, you'll actually find a little resting spot. Really good that we find a place to heal here, and it's sort of for free. There's a bunny right next to it, but obviously you don't want to rely on the bunny too much. And then if you head all the way to the right, okay, so this is one of the tougher encounters. What we can do is we can go ahead, use Dragon Blitz on that one, use Firestorm and Poison Rain to deal with the others. And then we do win. But it's definitely not the easiest fight. And if you get that encounter too often, it's definitely going to be annoying. Alright. So obviously, Entangling works great here because it does stun the enemies pretty consistently. Well, it entangles them, you know. But anyways, the point is we're going to continue here, and now we're going to get a quest. So this is a quest to find 13 fairies, basically. Is it 13? I don't know. I believe the quest is so. How many it is. Here, quest 44. A nymph in the Mushroom Valley. So this quest is rescue all the fairies. So we have to find Drydene the Sylph, Nymphette the Dryad, Alexi the Nereid, Francine the Noxodox, Ode the Dradoid, and finally Sephora the Carmelite. So those are the fairies that we have to find. Finding them, not necessarily easy, by the way. Although, to be fair, it's not that it's that special either. Also, I don't think you can continue through here, so you do have to go back up and around. There's a route here that you can collect. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if my mouse is actually showing on the recording, but there's something there that I hadn't noticed before. So I'm not sure if we have any way of accessing that. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like we have a way to access that. So I guess I'll leave it, but oh my god, yes, right. I have not forgotten about this, but I had pushed it away from the tip of my head. It was not atop my brain right now that this encounter exists. Well, this encounter is awful for all the obvious reasons. Now, entanglement is a thing here, so there is definitely that. Luckily, that skill exists. Lethal Dance, very good skill at times like this. You do, like, I don't know what the conditions are to use that skill. It says you have to be able to find the weak spot, right? That's what it says. But I don't know what constitutes a weak spot in this game, to be fair. So I don't really know when it would apply and when it wouldn't apply. Anyways, we find the Storm Shield here, which I believe is the only item you can find here. Unless we can... no. And once again, we face this encounter. So I'm actually going to use Lethal Dance on the Burning Bull, see if that helps us. That does deal decent damage. And then this kills. So that does seem like a pretty good way to handle it. Now, because we're so over-leveled, because we did the St. Leona quests, this part is a lot less hard than it would be otherwise. But I will be honest, I've gone through the Mushroom Valley before, where I literally would like be stuck and drop a save, and just sit here every single time that we run into. Every single time that we run into a specific enemy, we would have to retreat back to the save bunny or back to the healing spot because we were dead, because the bulls were just too strong. And then if it was a 4 bulls encounter, it was just giving up right away. So, you know, being over-leveled definitely helps in this case to just save your sanity a bit, because it is a pretty difficult section if you aren't a high enough level. My opinion, of course. Okay, so I don't think there's actually anything in any of these places. I just went over it just to be sure. And then we're in here. That does count as a quest complete. Now this place is pretty big, but realistically the only thing you have to do here is you have to collect all the mushrooms. All the mushrooms. Which, you know, it sounds like a big deal. It really isn't that big a deal. You just kind of have to find them all. Sometimes you might miss one, and then you're stuck here, wondering what the hell you're supposed to do because you just didn't see the one mushroom that you missed. Let's go for this. Let's go for this. Let's go for this. One thing I do like about the more recent games is that you can, like, you gain skill uses whenever you use a skill, so it actually really incentivizes using varied amount of skills instead of just sitting here spamming Dryads, Firestorm, and Defend. But it has its charm. Okay, so we're back up against this. So I'm actually going to go ahead with the plan that we devised last time. Okay, that did not kill. That was not part of the plan, actually. Yeah, that wasn't how I saw that going, but, you know, whatever. Don't forget this mushroom, don't forget this. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know I've got them all? It's pretty simple. You try to leave the map, and if you got them all, the game will tell you. The issue is, the first time you play, you don't know that. For example, right now, I might be thinking like, oh, well, do I not have them all? Like, is there more? Am I done? Did I find them all? Did I not find them all? And there really isn't anything telling you whether or not you did. I can definitely see that being a bit annoying. Actually, I'm still not sure whether or not I got them all. That's kind of the thing. Now you could aggress out of here, but I can't because random is zombified. And I'm pretty sure that's kind of like an unintended side effect of random getting the bloodthirsty. There we go. Finally learned revive. I kind of feel that's an unwanted side effect of the bloodthirsty assassin stuff. That random can't aggress anymore. I am, to this second, actually not sure that we got them all. Random isn't no longer affected by that, though, so he can... Okay, so we did have them all, so that's how you're supposed to know. Right, so the ridiculous part is we get literally 1 ether for, like, doing all of that. Sure. Now these two are not going to really mention much, they're just kind of useless people talking to us. Annie here is going to mention the stolen animals of Rillia. Oh no! Animals have been getting abducted! Ah! Which, you know, is the next main quest. Now, the whole issue that the game tries to put forward is that the animals that have been abducted are in Witchwood, and Witchwood is, you know, off limits for the main characters. Now, we also got the quest here that random wants to find a house. Kind of a weird quest to suddenly have, but sure. And if you go and look at the completed quests, we'll notice that quest 21 has actually been added. And quest 35 has been added, which, yeah, that's about as random as it gets. This is quest 35. Anyways, we can go ahead and we can actually talk to Kevin the Explorer. And Kevin the Explorer will actually show us 3 places, namely the Port of Rillia, the Peak of Heroes, and the Atlas Cave. Now, the Port of Rillia is actually pretty cool. If for no other reason than that you can buy various stuff here. Like fish, is what I mean by various stuff. But there is another thing to this place. She's going to talk. Luciana thinks her dad's never going to come back. She's probably right, to be fair. We're going to put Spark back in the party. Actually, am I? You know what? Sure. We're going to talk to this guy. And I would like to find a save point first, because I'm actually not entirely sure how hard that place is. Like, map to the southern shores. Okay, so we found the map to the southern shores. We can go back to Rillia right now. We can go ahead and save. Now, the thing is, the reward you get, so to speak, the reward you get is so irrelevant that I really don't see why you would ever get the quest to begin with. Okay, so here we can find the Thunder Sword, finally in a shop, again. The Mithril Sword, which is excellent versus vampires. So we're just going to buy that, you know, no particular reason. Now there's another reason. The War Master Sword might be great, but the Mithril Sword is straight up better. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to consider what we can do. I'm trying to find a specific place, but it seems that I'm either missing it by accident. Oh, there we go. And there is the Orb of Fire. So I guess it was the Orb of Ice that we found in the lava. You know, same difference. Anyways, we found the Orb of Fire. That's what we came here for, to find. So that means there's only 2 orbs remaining, which technically speaking, we could find right now. But, you know. Okay, anyways. I do believe the first thing that we want to do is we want to just save here. Not sure how long we've been going, but I think like 30 minutes, so we can do some more. So we're going to head into Witchwood, and the first thing we're going to find is that Coriol is standing right here. Coriol, great guy, very nice guy, obviously. I'm going to bring Coriol when it comes to Witchwoods, just because you kind of do need him. He can equip the Stalker's Bandana, which is really good for me. And he can also equip the Stamina Shoes, so that's great. Thus starts the amazing journey of Witchwoods, which I suppose will begin by secret room hunting a tiny little bit. And then take 1 step to the right, 1 step down, and you'll find the last one. That's like slightly hidden. As for secret room hunting, it's actually not that hard in this place because this is the first one. Secret room 35. Savior Book, Mithril Dust, Gold, Spirit Scroll, Totem of Evil, Mithril Dust, and we're out of here. Alright, So that's the first bit. That was the first secret room that we were going to find. Now, the next thing is that each of these pumpkins has a chance to have an item. It's not an independent chance. I just don't know by heart which ones do and which ones don't. And I certainly don't fancy figuring it out or learning it by heart. And then besides that, there's two paths. I think there's one path that goes to the right, and there's one path that goes down here, but that doesn't have anything as far as I'm aware. Unless there's something here, maybe? Like in one of these cavities? Nope. Doesn't look like it, so... So, the main quest is if you don't follow the pumpkins. The side quests is if you follow the pumpkins. So we're going to start by following the pumpkins. And there's going to be another bunny here, which is nice enough, I suppose. Also, some of these pumpkins are XP pumpkins. It's pretty easy to tell which ones are. And also, that's why I took Spark. Spark can find XP pumpkins here. So, yeah. There's just no way that you don't bring Spark when you can literally find XP pumpkins in this place. There's a lot of spicy mandrakes here, which is obviously one of the better consumables. There's one more hidden there as well. Now I should note about Witchwoods, this place is not necessarily easy by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, this place is actually pretty difficult at times. There's a couple of random, well not random, what am I trying to... There's a couple of boss encounters here that are, I mean, by every definition, really hard. Also, this is Secret Room 31. I don't think there's anything else in here. And then she mentions that only witches are allowed to be in here, but, you know, we're not a witch. Too bad for you. Anyways, so that is this section done. There's a path to the right. I did see that. But this is the pumpkin path, and we're following the pumpkin path first. Right? So, on the pumpkin path, there's another thing. There's a chest right here, and I don't think these have anything. Yeah, so we're going to finish off the pumpkin path first. You'll notice this is a skeleton tree. This is how I'll refer to this area. There's another XP pumpkin. Now, these encounters are easy. Don't get me wrong. The encounters that you have to be wary of are when you start seeing the purple jack-o'-lantern things. Once that encounter starts showing itself, it gets a lot more difficult because those things actually have a skill that just AoE... Those guys have a skill that just AoE inflicts exhaustion on you, which is why you definitely need Coriol, because he's the only one that's immune to exhaustion. Right now, anyways. Exhaustion, instant death, you know. So without Coriol, you kind of just risk your entire party instantly dying to these things, to those things. And that's honestly just something that I refuse to deal with. It's also somewhat hard to remember what items there are if you don't follow the pumpkin path, which is another reason to just do so. And I believe you can go... Yeah, right. Also, these big heads, they can definitely deal a lot of damage as well. The only reason I'm kind of rushing through these fights without much caution is because I know that I'm strong enough to handle them. And if anything goes wrong, Sarah can just revive, right? Alright, so we found a Necro Tier, which is another really good item. So you might see my point with Spark in this area is just too good not to have. The items we find here are crazy good. So yeah. Secret Room 30. There we go. So that's going to give us a little bit of extra HP. And the same Crystal Scroll. And then if we head in here, we can actually get to the top, which is going to give us one of each of those items. So, you know, another small side path, and then perhaps very easy to miss. Perhaps very easy to miss. However, I would point out there is also a mithril dust right there. Alright, so let's see. Let's have a quick think about what we're going to do. We're going to proceed back to the start of the pumpkin trail. I did say I was going to do the pumpkin trail first, but I guess that's only when the map leads out, right? Okay, so we found another XP pumpkin, so that's great. That's what we're here for. We're here for XP pumpkins. The more we can find, the better, obviously. Now, are they strictly necessary? No, you can definitely... It doesn't really matter too much. You can definitely continue on without them, but, you know. Right. And then we talk to this fairy. Now, this fairy is not going to do anything. It's just going to talk to us. But, you know. It's also not one of the fairies that you have to save, in case you're wondering. So don't worry if he doesn't. It's kind of why I bothered. I believe there's another secret room right there. Now, I'm not sure if we head here, whether we're gonna... Right, that puts us here. Which is another boss fight. And then to top that off, we have right there, which... And don't act too surprised, but that's another boss fight. So there's a lot of boss fights in this place. And I wouldn't mind that too much if we had a save point relatively nearby, but we don't. So, but in order to find the boss fights, it's pretty easy. I think this leads to the Eye of Witchwoods. It does. So we can egress from here. Okay. So in order to get to the boss fights, you kind of just follow the pumpkin trail until the skeleton tree, and then from there we can go ahead. Which is good because there's a bunny right here, so we can heal up the bunny. I guess we'll explore the path to the right first now, since, I mean, we're here anyways. Okay, so welcome back to Witchwoods, still the same name. There's 2 chests up here. Also, these are 2 vampires, so we're actually going to go ahead and use random striker. Okay. Obviously, that is not supposed to fail, I believe. You got that part, right? But because Random is equipped with the Mithril Sword, he will deal bonus damage on vampires, causing him to basically one-shot them all the time. That will cause Random to one-shot the vampires, which in turn will allow us to use Striker, and then Striker will allow Random to attack again, which should hypothetically, you know, take out the second vampire. Or the third. Depends on how many there are, but, you know. And that fight gives us a good amount of gold. It's like 500 gold for killing these vampires. And a single encounter is then, whatever, 5 divided by 2.3s. 2/3. That fairy over there is also not one of the fairies that you need to find, but she does have a different purpose, which is why we're going... Okay, I'm pretty sure that it kept selecting the wrong skill. That's... Alright, so we're going to entangle one of them. You'll notice Swirling Heads is actually not the skill that we have to be afraid of. The only skill that we have to worry about is the instant death skill of the purple ones. And then we're going to head up here, and this one is going to give us a level. Now you might be wondering, like, why the level and not something else? It's pretty simple. The enchantment doesn't last, and the 999 HP and stuff is just a full heal. So there is legitimately zero reason you would ever select those as a reward for this thing. I believe that actually says at a certain level it will become 2 hits. Is there a way to get there? I don't think so. And even if there was, you wouldn't be able to access all the items anyways, so... As for the luck ring, I actually don't know how much use the luck ring has at this point. I'm just kind of hoping that this doesn't take us into the Eye of Witchwoods, which it didn't, so that's good. I think those bush things are actually quite fast. Alright, so we can follow the pumpkin path again. Actually, we might just want to go and save so we don't have to do all of this again. Just in case. I'm not going to die, obviously. No, the skeleton tree fight is actually pretty damn difficult. So, let's not kid ourselves here. This fight is really difficult. It's not a joke. That fight is hard. So when we're talking about like, all right, huh? Is it not? All right, I'm interacting with the wrong thing. Could stand here for a while if this is where we're trying to trigger the fight. No, yeah, that was small mistake. This is a skeleton tree. It's not the right skeleton tree, but it's a skeleton. How do I get there? There we go. Okay. I believe it's the path to the right here. Yes. Okay. Here we are. So let's actually head up. I'm not sure if there's a safe bunny here. If there would be, that would be great though. But I don't know. Cursed. Right, so cursed is a incredibly annoying thing because it prevents you from getting XP. So we're going to have to use a condition stone on that one, otherwise we're never going to get rid of it. You can go back to Rillia and get it cured by the priest guy that we saw. Otherwise, I don't think it's actually cleansable. I'm pretty sure there's an item specifically cleansing that, but I don't have any in any case. Alright, and I believe over here is an item. Now, I was really hoping to see a save bunny here, maybe. Oh, Sarah one-shots these two. That's good to know. Oh, there's a save bunny. Nice. Alright, good. So we can save. That's pretty good. Also, this is sort of news to me, but Spark can apparently find items even if you're dead. Even if he's dead. Does that matter a lot? No, but, you know. Alright. Alright. So, time for the big part. I guess I've been sort of postponing him. It's time for the boss fights. Let's see. Alright. We're just going to take the loss here. And we're going to load up. Because being cursed and all those debuffs is just... Alright. I guess first things first. Say hello to the Eternal Widow, the first boss fight that we're gonna do. Now we can inflict bleeding and disease on her, and that's kind of all we have to do. I'm not sure if we can inflict more than that on her. We can try, but it doesn't really matter. The only reason that I wanted maybe to do that is because otherwise, as you can see, she will, like, it'll wear off. But bleed works wonderfully on her, so there we go. And we get the Widow Coat, which is the item that we needed from her. Okay, great. So we killed the first boss. That was pretty easy. Now, for anyone wondering, sorry to burst the bubble, but yes, that was the easier one of the two. The other one is definitely not just as easy. There is, in fact, a real reason why I'm worried about that fight. So we're going to heal up again to full. We're going to go ahead and save now that we've beaten the Widow. And then... Oh my god, can you stop? Maniac mode. GG. Alright, so we're going to head down here. And the encounter actually triggers as soon as you walk into that. So we're just going to... not do that yet. Also, I'm going to give Coriol MP because you never know. We're going to use Circle of Meditation, and we're going to heal random back up. Okay. Yep. I mean, that is essentially... that is essentially as expected. Now, as you can see, this is not going too great. What we're going to try is we're going to try and use Swamp Corrosion and then Fireball in the hopes of maybe being able to inflict some kind of something on him. Notably, that failed, so now we have to think about what the next thing we're going to try is. This actually AoE heals, so we might want to try that. Okay, Fireball notably failed as well, so we're going to go ahead and use one of the Ocean Loves. Now, trust me when I say, this might all seem a bit overkill, but this thing is... like, I don't really have a different way to beat this guy, is the thing. And his AoE attack does not help with that, because it's pretty strong. Even if it doesn't necessarily auto-kill, it is still a pretty potent AoE, so... but we are whittling him down slowly with the fireballs, so far our strategy is working. It's just that it's not, you know... Alright, we can definitely use Lethal Dance here, and I suppose... let's see what kind of items we have in here. I mean, we can try and lob a dynamite at it. 2,000 damage. Okay, okay. You know, 2,000 damage is definitely random. How about you throw that second stick of dynamite? Alright, so doing this first try would be amazing. That is, that's for sure. Alright, random dice, but again, that is completely within line with expectations. We're going to go ahead and use Lethal Dance. We're going to... the reason I'm using the Necrotears is so that I survive the AoE if he uses it. Which definitely like gives me more leeway with what I'm doing. Alright, and we got the Armor of the Roots. Obviously the important part is that we do get the Armor of the Roots. Otherwise... I don't know if it's a guaranteed drop, but the Armor of the Roots, as you can see, not as good as the other armor, but it does give you 6 HP per turn. So, you know, if you didn't buy the Silcerium armor, this can definitely be a nice little replacement for that. So we're going to go ahead and collect the items that we can get here real quick. And I believe that's it. So we're going to go ahead and aggress out of Witchwood. We're going to go ahead quickly save, just in case the game crashes. You never know. We did kill the roots. So that basically was the most important boss fight here. Now there's more fights. Don't worry about that part. This definitely was not the only fight you're going to see. Okay, we're back at the save bunny. Now this time we're going to actually strictly follow the pumpkins. So last time we went to the right side from here. This time we're just going to continue the pumpkins all the way through, collecting their various loot as we progress. We're just going to ignore the pumpkins for 1 second to enter Secret Room 33, which has a lot of XP pumpkins for us, which has a River Stem for us, Thunder Beams for us, and another Totem of Evil. Now notice how many Totems of Evil we have right now. We currently have, once I find them, right here, 8 Totems of Evil, which means 40% HP so far. Which means if we find 12 more, we will have exactly 20, and we can kill one enemy basically no matter what. So that keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Alright. So after the grandiose success of killing the roots in one go, the question is, can we do this again with other optional bosses? The answer is probably not, because we did, like, the roots is one of the, I don't want to call them an easier fight. I don't want to call him an easier fight because that's technically not what he is. It's a pretty tough fight. It's just if you have the healing items and Sarah has learned Revive, and you have Lethal Dance, and you have those dynamite sticks. I did not know they would be that effective, but you know, and you have found a decent amount of necro tier so that you can revive a decent HP, you know, all those factors together definitely did help in making this a lot easier than it usually would be. So I guess that qualifies as my advice for this place. Make sure you have all of that. Alright, so anyways, we are still following the pumpkin trail. Now, there's a health aquafolium here. There's a magic buff here. You can squeeze in between these to get the thunder beans there. Cemetery. That is the skill that I was talking about that auto kills the entire party. Well, it can't auto kill the entire party. If that lands, you're just dead. That gives us the dark sword, which I believe is not a better sword, but you know, it might frighten. I'm not sure if there's something up here. I don't think so, but I'm exploring it just in case. So Spark is obviously kind of frail, especially because I'm not really taking the time to fully heal him each time. Yeah. Alright, so there is a path to the left here, but I believe... I'm not sure for a second where that leads, actually. Checking my notes, but it just says Witchwood, so... Ah, right. Okay, so this is the... Not the next boss fight, but... Well, I mean, it might as well be. Now, one thing you should really realize is Witchwoods is really big. Like, even if you know the various parts of this place, there really is still nothing that says that you'll be able to keep track of what's where. I really shouldn't be trying to escape from these things. Okay. Yeah, that's on me. I should not have tried to escape from this. So I just wasted a very widely usable item just to stay alive. Now I could obviously die and just redo the section up till here, but I feel like kind of the whole vibe of like doing a hard run is that you have to deal with the mistakes that you've made and not just chicken out of the mistakes by quickly backing out. Now keep in mind, you can definitely trade in Sarah for Luciana for a while if Sarah, for example, is cursed, such as right now. There's nothing really stopping you from doing that. Luciana's skills... Oh wow, she just instantly gets cursed as well. Alright, that's why this felt like a gimmick. There's Oh, I have another condition stone. That's good. That's why this felt like a gimmick. There is more than one of them in this encounter. And I, technically speaking, have absolutely no way of knowing which ones I'm hitting. Man, this encounter is awful. Like, on a list of encounters that I really hate, this is probably the one that I hate the most. Because it's very hard to tell, A, whether you've already killed one, B, which ones you've already killed, C, which ones you're hitting. The only real trick to it is that you can always hit the first one and then that'll obviously work decently well, but, you know. I think you can go around here and then like this. I'm starting to think that just letting Sarah die might be a better choice here. What do I do about this? So yeah, like I said, this really isn't that easy, those fights, mainly because they can just spam those skills. Also, this gives you the Soul Shield, which is a pretty interesting item. It protects you from Dark and Mind and gives you some bonus HP, but it doesn't protect you from instant death, which is kind of why I don't find it the most useful item. Now there's two more paths here, one to the bottom here, which leads to Witchwoods, to another section of Witchwoods. So you can use this one safely, I believe. God, there's so much. Witchwoods is so big. I don't think you can fathom how exhausting it is to be exploring it like this entirely, without just looking at a map every 2 seconds. Because it's easy if you have a map, you know. You just look at the map and you make sure that you're not doing anything wrong. And then there's a chest there, and then, yes, so far so good. I really hate these lanterns, in case it wasn't. I really hate these enemies specifically, if it wasn't obvious. I think they embody something that I hate about RPGs at times, namely, like, difficulty born out of cheap skills and not out of, like, you know, difficulty. Aside from the fact that we are getting very good gold for our efforts. Alright, oh my god, leave me alone. I sort of have the feeling that the thing deciding whether that lands or not is kind of broken. Because it hasn't worked a single time, and honestly I'm here for it because I don't want it to work either. But yeah, I can't help but notice that it has not worked a single time. Okay, so now I'm thinking, I believe that we've actually found back the oh, I did not mean to try that the last time. I believe we found the pumpkin path back. Although I'm not 100% sure that the pumpkin path works if you stray from it. But I don't think that matters, so. I'm not sure if there's anything up here still, but I couldn't help but notice that I can definitely make it through there, so I figured I'd try. I guess I'll use swamp corrosion on this one. Oh, no, okay, that does toss me into the eye of Wedgewood. That's interesting to know. Well, I suppose once we're in the eye, we can actually, like, to be totally fair, we can actually save here, which is nice enough on its own. And if you really want to collect everything, you do have to be here once, at least, so. And that pumpkin will talk to you. I believe there's another necrotier there. And I believe that's all there is to it. No, there's one more thing on the left, I think. Yep. A necroleash, 1,000 gold, and the witch shield, which reduces mana cost. Alright. Anyways, we're going to go ahead, we're going to press out again because we explored everything that wasn't part of the main path. Well, one of the two main paths. That means currently we've been at this for 1 hour and 7, so I believe that's been enough. Next time we'll do the rest of Witchwoods, which really isn't all that much anymore, so I hope to see you guys some other time.